Hello! And yeah, guess who's back? Back again. Please don't copy strike me, or copyright strike me, or whatever you do. But yes, I'm back, folks. I know. It's been a while, but yeah, it hasn't been a good while in my case anyway. I don't know about you, but yeah, well, first things first, I dropped my original camera. It smashed on the night of Christmas Day, 25th. After, in fact, let me get it. After getting my new microphone as well. Typical. Well, anyway, yeah, it is a shame, but I am back, and we've got a banger today, folks. So make sure you are subscribed, because this is going to be a two-part series. And we're doing the first bit, which is the scape today. So we had this tank over here. We've got a new one. We've had, I don't know if you remember Aquarium Tips for Beginners. I'm going to be doing an intermediate guide to that. So stay tuned for that at some point in the next few months. And then the advanced guide will be coming later this year. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, if nothing goes wrong, I should say. And the thing for Christmas, which was meant to be on the 6th of January, will be at some point this month, hopefully, because it's March at the moment. I want to get it done this month. So maybe the 16th, 26th, something like that, to keep the 6th there. Oh yeah, if you hear chewing in the background, my dog's on the bed and he's chewing something. So, well, let's get straight down to business. So I have a boots box here. So we're going to put that on the floor. We're going to move some of this stuff over. We're going to need this at some point today. It's not fish food, by the way, it's just a fish food bucket it's in. They'll be used a bit later. So this is the quote-unquote aquarium we have to work with here. It was kindly donated by my nan. It came from a glass factory near here, near my house. It was quite an expensive one, so yeah, I've got some leaf litter in the moment that I collected from her garden, which I'm going to re-put back in there once it's decayed a bit. So I'm going to remove that for now, because that's no good being living, because that would introduce algae and all sorts of horrible stuff like that. So what we're going to do, first things first, we're going to empty all of this out into the box. So that's as simple as just turning it on its side, giving it a bit of a shake, and essentially, this sand wasn't mine that I put in here. I thought it would come out a bit easier than that. Oh my. You can turn it up in there a bit. We are going to reuse the sand. We don't need to go all about it, really. But yeah, we're going to reuse the sand. Not all of it. I'm going to save some of it for another project in the future. I plan to have a vampire crab palvarium. We get, because you know that the Aquarium Tips for Beginners aquarium, that one is going, if I can re-find it, I don't know what I did with it, but hopefully that's going to be turned into a palvarium, because I have a filter for it which I can get set up. I need to get some rock work for it, because I want to get some nice, I was thinking, shush, don't knock, no. Right, well, he's off. But yeah, I was originally thinking Dragonstone, I think it's called. But then, it's okay. It's very porous, though. It's a bit dodgy. And then it came to me. I thought limestone, actually. Limestone is actually ideal, really. it's pretty easy to come by. You can just go down to the beach, or you can buy it, obviously. And yeah, that'll do. Right, so we've got our sand in the box. So we're gonna we'll put that to one side now. Right then, it isn't greatly clean, but it doesn't particularly matter because we're about to put water in it, obviously. So I'm gonna put it up here. So we now have our quote-unquote fish food. We have actually a bit of soil in here. So lots of people use aqua soil, but if you, there is a stone in there, and that'll smash it. Just quickly make sure there's nothing in it. Should be okay. Although to keep it nice and safe, I'm just going to do it like that. Because sand looks great, it's nice, it's lovely. It has no nutrients in it whatsoever. It's just literally ground up shells. It's horrible. Plants don't like it. This, on the other hand, is great. There might be seeds in this, however, but that doesn't really matter. They'll just die. Anyway, so I'm a rapper. But no. Our next job, so we now have this. Those stones may be able to be used. Right, yeah, we have this, okay? So, before we put any water in there, we have this. Now, I didn't really bring a scoop for this, so we're just going to kind of like grab little handfuls and just, it doesn't need to be too thick, it just has to be thick enough so the soil doesn't get through through this layer and kind of dirties the water up. A bit more than that. It is dusty. I might sneeze, but there's some quite nice rocks in here actually. We could reuse them. I didn't pick any rocks up. I did have my eyes on one, but it didn't have a price on it, so I didn't know if it was for sale or not. Otherwise, I think I would have picked one up while I was at the fish store. Although they were trying to get rid of us, I'm pretty sure. So I think if I spent ages looking for the rocks, I think it would have ended up kicking us out because we got there as it was closing. And look at that. Right. That is, I'm going to, if you don't know what it is, it's just a bag really. It's nothing special, just a bag inside a bog standard boots box. And yeah, so that's that. Boom. Right. That seems about a good enough layer to me, if I'm going to be honest. Right, so you're wondering why we have a Nutella lid here. Well, actually, this is very helpful. We're just going in. My arms are long enough. Just doing that, really. You're probably wondering why. Well, we're going to fill it up with water now. So, I'll go and get. No, I'll just do it with this. It's easier to pour. Right, I'm going to go and get one scoop, and I'll be back with you just in a second. Right, so the aim here is to hit that lid. Doesn't matter too much if we miss. It's not really. It is a slower process, but it is a cleaner process because it stops the sand being disrupted. Right, now that is actually looking pretty clean. Like when I filled this one up, when I had the tropical fish in it, that was pretty much a swamp. But anyway, we're going to move it to where it belongs. And I'll see you in a second and it'll be filled up with water.
2,000 years later.
Ooh! Oh, I don't know if I can fit in the shark. Let's just move up. Right. Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, there's not much space, but this is where it's going, and as you can see, it's now filled up. That isn't a bubble blower, by the way, that's making those bubbles. They're natural bubbles from the soil. yeah, so they're completely natural. There's nothing, there's no wizardry, there's actually no electricity here at all, or any pipes or anything at all. It's all natural. So if you don't understand what we did with the soil down here, this is what's known as a false bottom. So essentially it's acting out what it would be in real life, except it's false. But yeah, let's get to the most exciting part. Planting the plants. We'll start actually with the smallest, or will we? We'll actually review what we have here. So the reason I got this was so we can place them in. So our first plant here is called, I'll put it up on screen, Echinodorus berry. So there's that one. The next one is Hydrophilia corambosa. Put that one in there. And then finally, this little small one is Anubias nana and bonzina. Bonsai, yeah. No, I don't know. Right, anyway. So, where do we start with the biggest one? So what I'm thinking is this is the back. This is the front, obviously. Originally it was going to be a 360, so you can view it from the angles, but you can't really put plants in 360 ones. So we're going to go with a 180 one, which is what we've got set up here. So we're actually going to start with the bigger one. You can have a little look at them. So there's the bigger one. The kind of ish, well, the smallest one, I suppose. And then there's this leafier one here. Kind of looks like a mint plant. But yeah, right, let's start. They're all easy. They're all really robust plants. There's actually 2 plants here. I didn't know that. Right, so first things first. Let's get them out. So they do have weights on them. I was originally gonna put them in with it. So if you've never had live plants in an aquarium before, you want to get rid of all of this stuff, because this foam stuff is filled with nutrients, and if you don't want loads of algae in your tank, you get rid of this, because this will just literally make algae bloom everywhere, or algae, or how else can you pronounce it? Algae is another way of pronouncing it. Lots of ways of pronouncing it. I say algae personally. Try and keep as much of the root there as possible. We'll get this smaller one. They will grow, obviously, and they'll get right. So they'll get as big as each other. So my tweezers here. Yeah, we're gonna have to drain a bit out, I think. Didn't really want to do this, but we are. So I'm gonna drain a little bit out. That's not gonna work. Let's get my smaller one. Hold that thought. Right. I have my smaller one. So we're just gonna actually use this as the container, because we'll refill it right up to the top again. Oh, the other thing I haven't put in, actually, on saying that, is actually reminded me, was this stuff. Not a sponsor, obviously. My DMs are open, folks. But yeah, this stuff. It's not too bad where I live, but if you live in like New York or London or Dubai or somewhere really built up, then you're gonna want to put this in, definitely. I think when I measured it, I did a physics equation, and it was 10 million square millimeters. So I'm going to put about that much in. I always wash it out as well afterwards in the water to make sure I get. I'm running out of this, so I'm gonna have to buy a new bottle. I only put that in just to make it 100% safe for them. Plants, they don't really care about it, but there we go. Right, well, let's get this one. So this one I'm feeling like It's very cold, like very, very cold. Let's put that. Ooh, hello. What does that look like from the front? It will get a bit cloudy now. This is where it will get pretty cloudy. I was pretty pleased with actually how it came out. I can't see it all from the top. I don't know. We're going to go with that's looking good. So we have our next one here. Let's get rid of. So I was actually quite shocked when this came with 2. These will get quite big. These are not small plants. These are going to get quite big. I wanted some kind of protection though, because we are going to get fish for it, and that's what's going to happen in the next episode. Spoiler alert. Well, spoiler alert after the spoiler. But yeah. Some of this stuff's okay, because it is basically what it is. It's just filled with nutrients and fertilizer. So a bit of this is good because it will help the plant grow to its full potential. So I could break this off into smaller ones, but I actually quite like it like that. So we're just going to grab that like that, and hopefully it's not going to go over the edge again. Now we're going to put that one in there, because why not? Oops, I just unearthed it. I haven't got really ideal tweezers for this one. This job probably should get planting tweezers, but there we go. So as you can see, it's really starting to fill up now. Quite broad leaves in there. But these ones are going to grow upwards specifically, not specifically too far outwards. And that's what this one's job is. This one will cover the bottom completely, pretty much. So if we just take that out, we'll plant this one next. Actually, probably should have planted this one first now, thinking about it. Because this one's small. Really small. And it goes on the bottom. I actually really like this. I'm glad I picked this one. This was my mum's choice, this one. She wanted a small one. So this one will be very good at the foreground. Nice and easy. Ooh, we had an overflow. So just stick it in, nice and easy. Gonna stay. That's the problem, yeah. Lots of water is going out. Not gonna be too happy about that. Yeah, that actually looks really nice. So yeah, the pots you can save because you can, and the fluff, the wool as well, you can, the foamy kind of stuff, you can save that as well. Because sometimes you might want to put the pots in there. Oh, this one's come with 3, has it? Yeah, 3, not too bad. But yeah, you can put the pots when you're planting outdoors. It's better to put the pots in because not many people bother with a substrate outdoors unless you've got a really fancy koi pond or something. Then you kind of have substrate, but normally outside you would just have a tarpaulin kind of a fabricy kind of pond layer. Sometimes people have the ready-made ones. Normally they'll have some kind of substrate in it. They're the normally fancy ones. And then sometimes people have them built and then they have stones on the bottom of them. Ultimately, it's your preference. But personally, outside, I would keep the pots with them because it's just better. So because this one isn't going to have a filter, it's going to take more time for the water to cure. Because it doesn't have a filter. I think I'm only going to plant this one as well. I'm going to hide it back here. But that one can go in that one, that plant. Or I might put it in a beaker or some kind of container and save it for later. Because I could put it in there, but the problem is with goldfish. Which is what are in that. Pearl scale goldfish and your standard goldfish. They'll unroot it. They will. They don't care. They don't give a toss. They will just completely unroot it. So, I'm going to quarantine that one. So I'm going to put it back in the plant pot and put that in like some kind of container filled with water. Because then that will just keep the nutrients in it. That's why they're in these in shops, is because they don't actually plant them. Because if they had planted them in the shop, they would have to go through all the hassle. I suppose you've bought coral before. it's quite hassling because they have to go through all of like the what's its, and they have to find them. What was this again? It wasn't that one, was it? It definitely wasn't that one. Oh yeah, it was this one, wasn't it? I'm just going to put that in there so I know which one it is. And we're going to put that to one side. I'll probably, I don't know what I'll do with that. I'll keep the plant pots though, always keep the plant pots. And for today's episode, that is virtually done. There's a bit of stuff collecting up here on the surface, which, oh actually hang on, we'll top it back up, won't we? You make sure you do that one if you're following this as a tutorial. Make sure you re-top it all up. The current, I might give it a bit more water in there, I don't know. But all in all, that's come out quite nice. There, if depending on what kind of fish you have, see if we can get rid of some of this. Depending on what kind of fish you have, that's perfect. That's like a shrimp breeding ground right there. This is, well, this would be quite nice for discus if they're or arowana, which I think Asian arowana are illegal in the UK because they're nearly extinct and they're very aggressive. But arowana, normal arowana, and lots of other things would love that. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it to sit there and maybe look at it. I'm going to get a light for it, so between this episode and next episode, there's going to be a light. None of this will be, or it won't be as murky, it won't be anything on the surface, anything like that. There might be some floating plants in it, or I might get them for next time. I mean, I suppose that's the end of the episode, so I might as well end it here. So thanks for watching, and yeah, like I said, this has been a banger episode. I've really enjoyed making it. And I hope to do more projects like this in the future. I'm thinking, put in the comment if you would like me to get acrylic sheets and actually build my own aquarium from scratch, like with silicone and stuff. That could be interesting. Maybe glass. Glass is expensive, and because it'll be the first one, might be a bit dodgy. But yeah, we'll go for 10 likes on this video. Don't want to go too high. I know you can definitely reach 10 likes. And yeah, make sure you subscribe by clicking the big red button down below. I need lots of support if you want to keep this kind of thing going. And yeah, like I said, sponsorships open. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Remember to subscribe, like, share, you know the drill. Peace.
Latin. Hygrophila corimbosa. Echinodorus blaeri. Anubias nana bonsai.